Hi guys, welcome to another episode of On the Road to OKC 2016. Well, we have eventually, and by hook or by crook, we have made it to 2016. The tail end of 2015, in the last couple of weeks there, was really good actually, and I managed to kick myself enough to get myself going and motivated again. So I've hit the ground running really in 2016, so there's quite a few different updates to show you today, kind of showing the progress. Now, because we've entered 2016 and the idea of this project is to get a game, a demonstration game, a participation game, a bit of both. I want that ready for Oklahoma City Convention, Warlord Games Day, in June. It's about the middle of June. So I've roughly got about 6 months from about now. So the pressure's starting to mount a little bit more now. It's not quite the 8-9 months that I kind of had when I started this project. It's now getting a bit closer. In terms of the progress that I've made so far, I've got roads, I've got rivers, I've got the bridge, I've got the town hall done. In terms of the terrain, I'm pretty much there. I've got a few more bits of road to do, which shouldn't take too long to do. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting that done. Because once it's done, and then I can kind of move on. So I have, however, got buildings to do, and we're going to touch on that a little bit later on in this episode or this video. As I said before Christmas, I've got something like 14 Belgian townhouses to build. So I actually made a start this week, just gone, as to really try and hammer out some of those buildings, get them done, so that I didn't have to worry about them too much. Construction so far has gone very well. I'm very pleased with it, and I'll be showing you a little bit more about that in a minute. I also upped my game on the painting front. Prior to going to England for Christmas, I got my first Belgian squad prepped and painted. I've just got to finish off the bases now with a little bit of highlighting and probably some flock, and they will be done. That'll be my first section of Belgians done. So we'll take a look at those in just a minute. I've had some reinforcements arrive, and I've also started my pledge for this week, which again will be another unit and probably some more work on the buildings. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. So let's start off with the Belgians, and we'll see how far we've got with those. So just very quickly, I've got my Belgians. There's the sergeant, the NCO. I really like how well they came out, and they're painted up beautifully. Very nice, very enjoyable to paint. There's my LMG gunner, and then I've got a few other guys. Most of them have moustaches, which I really like about them. Don't know how well that's going to focus, but yeah, you can get a feel for them. My next kind of task with the Belgians, I need to order some more squads. I think in total I'm going to be running 4 Belgian infantry squads, probably all inexperienced, which we'll see how that plays out. They are 10-man squads, strong sections, so hopefully that can put down quite a few pins, and just hold the enemy at bay, while perhaps a unit can outflank them. But we'll see how that goes. It could be fun, could be quite interesting. So in terms of what else have I got to paint for the Belgians, I have an officer from the British BEF command pack, which I can't actually see off the top of my head. But basically, he's the same figure as I'm using for my second lieutenant for my British BEF force. And rather than have 2 of the same figure, which a lot of people don't like, and I'm sort of, if I can help it, I'll get away from that. I'm actually decided I'm gonna use some green stuff and convert him to look more like a Belgian. Now, Belgian officers, as I've mentioned before, tried to emulate the style of British officers, so they used the same uniform. One of the differences, they used the riding boots. They wore riding boots. So I'm going to use some green stuff to try and make it look like he's wearing riding boots. It'll be interesting. I'll see how it comes out. I can't promise it's going to be great, but I'm going to try my best, as it's the first conversion, a major conversion. I actually created a medic for my Southeast Asia kind of Singapore force by putting an armband on, and he's gonna I'm gonna paint a red cross on there for my medic, but I mean, I think it's a little bit too thick. It's not quite in proportion, but for a first effort, it's not too bad, I guess. It's in the right place. So so I've got that officer that I'm going to convert, and then I'll have my second lieutenant for my Belgians. I've also got, as I mentioned before, a Finnish MMG team and a Finnish medium mortar. And as much as I would love to be starting the Finns right now, I'm actually going to use them with some Belgian heads and paint them up as Belgians. So we'll have some support teams as well. So it'll be 4 inexperienced squads, a inexperienced or maybe regular officer. We'll see points wise. A machine gun team, a medium mortar, and then the only other thing that I'm going to give them is a light tank, which, while I was away in England, arrived on my doorstep in America. So I have a T-15 Belgian tank. Unfortunately, I did some research on this the other day, trying to get some images of it, and unfortunately, it appears that the T-15 was never used by the Belgian army. They didn't really like it. It was used by the chasseurs, the chasseurs Ardennes, or basically the more elite troops. They actually fielded some T-15s, but I've kind of decided, as it's in the army list, in the theatre selector list, I figured I'd use it anyway. And I quite like it. It's a resin tank, which means it's going to be good for doing a tutorial as well. So that's my other thing. So really all I'm missing now is 3 more sections of infantry, and I will probably end up buying those 1 per month, so that I've got enough time to paint it and finish it before getting the next lot. I'm trying this year as my New Year's resolution to paint units in groups of 10 or maybe a couple of support teams at the same time. Trying to get 1 per week turned out. And if I can do that, then that's a big bonus for me. And I'm also trying not to buy too much more before I painted it. So, for example, really before I'm going to order the next lot of Belgians by the end of the month, I want to have the support teams done, the officer, and the T-15, so that in terms of Belgians, everything I've got is painted, and then I can get the next lot. That's kind of my thinking this year on it. Same with my British BEF. I have a British BEF section with some support elements and a command unit. I've just received, in the same post as this, I received the Morris CS9 from Warlord Games. Again, it's metal and resin, but I'll need to build that and paint that up before I order another section of BEF, which I think I'm only running 2 sections because they're regulars. So so I need to finish the Morris CS9 before I can buy any more of that. In terms of the Germans, I've got lots to do with that. I've got lots of teams to paint up, and that will need to get started fairly soon, especially if I'm only going to turn out a unit one per week. But I did get a Cooperwagen from Warlord Games as well. I bought this in the 3 vehicles 20% off deal. So I've got the Cooperwagen. I've actually got a Whitman figure, the one where he's kind of sitting on the hull with his arm over the barrel, or maybe sitting on the barrel. I can't remember, but basically I'm going to paint him up as a younger officer Rommel for France 1940. So he'll go in the back of the Cooperwagen, get driven around by his driver, and that'll sort of be my little command command unit there for the German sort of overall commander of the 2 platoons that are going out. So I've got 3 vehicles. I'm going to throw out some tutorials in the Bolt Action Basics series on putting those together. I'm also going to do a kind of a little video on conversion, so I'll cover converting my officer with green stuff, and I'll cover converting the Finnish teams with changing the heads. I mean, it's pretty simple, but it's good to know. So that's that. So in terms of my forces, the British are looking pretty good. I need to start painting the French, but I need to get some paints, excuse me, for them. So I may end up ordering some paints. My Belgians as well are making good progress. I would say I'm about halfway through done with those once I finish painting what I've got. So really from that point of view, we're in a good place. The Germans are the big issue. They really do need a lot of work. I've probably got 5 sections of 10 men that need painting. On top of that, I've got command units, support units. I've got the Cooper wagon, but I'm going to have, I've got my Panzer II and that's already painted. I'm also going to get it's an armoured car. It's the 222 one. It's like SKDP or whatever the designation it is. But basically I'm going to have an armoured car with my 2nd platoon rather than having a Panzer II. I just wanted to mix it up, be something different. So that should be good. So yeah, so that's kind of how it is. The only other thing, what do you call it? My sort of pledge, that's the word, pledge for this week is to get a unit, a 10 people unit or 10 person unit of civilians painted. If you remember back into last year, I bought 6 packs of the Footsore miniatures 1930s 1940s civilians, and they're going to be my refugees. So I've got my first unit of 10 base primed. I've started on the flesh. I'm going to try and get those finished this week, and then that'll be one done. I still need to get the carry trays from war bases. I'm actually going to buy some of their MDF cutout pavements as well to put along the edge of the roads, and also to put up against the buildings just to kind of tie it all in. So I'm going to get some of those as well. I probably need to get some other bases as well, maybe some smoke marker bases so I can build some of them. So I'm probably going to end up putting an order in and getting a ton of those. So that's that, and that'll be really exciting. I'm looking forward to that. So that's pretty much the figure front. The only other thing that I have to report today is some buildings. So let's change up the view. I'll get rid of the figures and we'll bring up what I've been working on. Okay, catch us in a second. Okay guys, so here we have it. My latest terrain piece that I'm building. In fact, actually it's 4 pieces. These are the 4 Belgian houses that I'm going to be basing on the buildings from Mons. Now, I took as inspiration the war bases Mons buildings. They're basically 3 floors with a peaked roof. So I've got another floor to build and put onto each one, but it's actually going to have a sort of, it's going to be this sort of height, but with the peaked part of the roof to support my roof. So it's going to take a little bit longer. Well, it's not going to take a lot longer to build, but I actually need to get those cut out and glued together and then stuck on. I'm really pleased with the progress so far. As I said back last year when I was building the French townhouse, I wanted to experiment with the idea of taking off each floor at a time. It's not something you see a lot of with foam board, but you do see with the MDF buildings. So I've tried to mimic that. Now, I have made these detachable. As I said, what I've done is I've put these pieces of foam board on the inside of the 2nd floor, just like so. And basically what I can do is just slot those in to to the building. We've got to work on smoothness, but basically that's how it's going to go. Now, I'm also going to experiment with these buildings of spraying the foam board with a spray paint. It's going to be a textured spray paint, but I want to give that a go rather than doing your basic paint job or putting card over it and then painting that. I'm also going to experiment. Yeah, so I'm going to spray that. I'm going to then put in some window frames. I'm also thinking, if I can, of using plastic from the blister packs, such as these, using the plastic, cutting that out and putting that over the window with a window frame made out of some probably matchsticks. If I can pull that off, then I'm going to do that, and I'm going to probably also behind the windows put curtains, and I'll make the curtains as I did for the big North Africa build with the marketplace. I'll use the baby wipes dried out and then and basically cut those to make the curtains. What I want to do is make it sort of almost look like it's lived in, or it's been lived in very recently. I'm going to put doors actually in the doorways rather than a lot of my other buildings where the windows are blown out, or you know, they're not there and the doors aren't there, and you kind of think, well, did somebody forget to put those on? So I'm going to make it look more like it's lived in. It'll also, I'm obviously going to do the interior decorations as well, because I'm a little bit of a sucker for pain and punishment. Clearly I haven't got enough to do. But it'll be a simple piece of card on the inside with score marks painted brown for the wooden floors. And I'll paint the walls, internal walls as well. Shouldn't take very long at all. But yeah, so that's kind of my plan. That's what I want to be doing. I should be able to get these finished, at least the shells all finished by the weekend or next week. Next week's update. I would also like to have test sprayed and possibly even sprayed them themselves. If I can get that all done, then I'll be really pleased with myself, as pleased as punch, and that'll be 4 out of the 14 down. It's also a good test run on fitting them in like that and doing all the kind of details. So it's a little bit of a test run, but it's also getting part of the project done. It's going to look great on the table. They do take up quite a bit of space, which is nice, just to kind of give you an idea of scale. There's my sergeant, my NCO. Pretty good height, I think. I'm pleased with the proportions on these buildings. The rooms aren't as high as they were on the town hall. Doorways are a nice height. Windows kind of sit up nicely around the waist area. So all is well on this. So that's where I'm going to go from this week. I've got 10 civilians to finish painting, and I've got these to try and finish off. And if I can do that, I'll be super happy, and that way I can look maybe either next week or maybe give myself a week's break and then start the next set. I've got 6 3-story townhouses to do, and I've got 4 2-story townhouses to do. So quite a lot of work still to do on the buildings, but I think when they are done, they're all, you know, and all on the table, I think it's going to look very good. It's going to give you the idea of a built-up town, which is what the Belgians are defending. So that's it from me from this week. As I said, I've got my pledges, and I'll be looking to update you on those next week. Also, keep your eyes out for more Bolt Action Basics tutorials. I've also got developments on comic books and writing. I've got developments on my trains. So lots going on. There'll be plenty of videos coming out now over the next few weeks and on into 2016. Thank you again for your support and everybody who's subscribed. I'm now up to 84, so it'd be really nice if I can push 100 by the end of January. And thank you. So if you have liked this video, if you like watching it or any of my other videos, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It is really encouraging. So yeah, from me to you guys, have a great rest of your day, and we will see you in the next episode of The Road to OKC 2016. Take care.